Welcome back to eCoach Month 3. I hope it's been a great month for you. To start today, think about this question. If you got just 2% better each month, how would things look in a year? How would they look in 3 years? Let's remember that this is all about small changes in the short term adding up to making a big difference in the long term. You may not always be as consistent with some of your planning as you would like to be. Almost no one is, but I'm sure you've made progress these past 2 months. So let's focus on the principle of compounding progress and stay the course. Up until now, the focus of the program has been around planning what we want to do, what we want to accomplish in our days and our weeks, which is of course important. That said, if you think about those moments in the past when you've been at your best, at work or outside of work, you'll notice that it isn't just what you're doing, but how you're being, how you're showing up while you're doing these things. I call this the mental game. We can walk into a given day many different ways: anxious, overwhelmed, distracted, fatigued, or positive, energized, calm, resilient. And how the day goes will depend as much or more on this, our state, than what we put down in our plan. Let's listen to Michael Jordan. As you see in this Jordan quote, it's this mental game which makes a difference between good and great. A big part of our mental game is our resilience, our ability to handle change and adversity. So I like Sheryl Sandberg's quote because it promotes this idea that there is something we can do about our mental game. We can exercise and build our mental game. Here are a few awesome practices that busy people find useful as they strive to stay energized and resilient. To start, let's look at gratitude. A really easy yet highly impactful exercise is to each day write down 3 things that you're grateful for. This is great for putting things in perspective and reminding us that we are actually incredibly fortunate in many ways. And as you develop this practice, you'll find that more and more during the days, your mind starts to appreciate what's good in the people and the situations around you, which is a better way to live and a more productive way to work. I really like this exercise as a start off to my day. Other people prefer to do it before they go to bed. You decide. Mindfulness meditation. In the past, mindfulness has had this woo-woo image. No longer. It's not a fad. Many of the highest performers in every field find that mindfulness meditation is a very useful tool to help them reduce stress, be more present, increase their capacity to focus, and to simply be happier. Do your diligence. Read up on this. There is an increasing body of really solid research showing incredible benefits for mindless meditation. My suggestion is to sign up to one of those free trials and commit to just 5 minutes per day for just 5 days, and then listen to your gut to decide if this is something that makes sense for you to continue. Recharging physically and mentally is critical. It's a non-negotiable if we want to be at our best. Which means when we leave work, we need to leave it not just in body, but in mind as well. Here are a few suggestions to help you mentally detach from work. First, think about clear boundaries for when you will and when you will not check work-related email and text. Because when we check work email, even if we're not spending much time on it, our mind is now sucked back into work issues. We're no longer present, and the plug is now pulled on our recharging. So turn off your notifications and put your phone physically away someplace where it's not in front of you all the time. And above all, don't have it by your bed at night. Second thing is to create a ritual, something to help you decompress and transition from work time to personal time. It might be a 10-minute walk around the block after you park your car before you walk into your home for the evening. Or maybe at the end of your workday, taking 15 minutes to enjoy that favorite cup of tea while you're listening to your favorite music, and then transition to your evening. And yes, as a reminder, plan before you close your day. I suspect that if you reflect on the past few months, you'll observe that when you do your planning, it does absolutely help you detach from work, enjoy your personal time, and even sleep better. Which reminds me, I really need to tap us all on the shoulder about sleep. A decent sleep isn't just important for our mental game and resilience, it's incredibly important in all kinds of ways. Yet studies show we're more sleep deprived than ever. So for some of us, adding even 20 or 30 minutes to our night's sleep might be the single best thing we can do for our health, happiness, and productivity. So your next steps, recommit if necessary to your core daily, weekly planning practices, and pay attention to your mental game. Review these practices and some of the others you see in the email. And right now, identify one, maybe two things to do differently or more consistently for the next 10 to 20 days. Thank you for your time. Stay the course and see you next month.